Good evening. Welcome to the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. Well. You know, when I began this year, coming to 2021, going through the turmoil of 2020, we began 2020 with the decision on the first sham impeachment put out by Nancy Pelosi. And then we ended somewhere near the end of the year on another projected 2021 sham impeachment also that took place after President Trump had already left office. And I began to ponder what's going to happen in the year ahead. I know some of you, that's the way we do. We plan, we think about what we're going to do this year. We're going to lose weight, we're going to make more money, we're going to save money or whatever. Of course, 2020 was almost a bust because a lot of people made money in 2020, but a lot of them were making money on the fact that we were locked up and locked in. Did anybody notice how Walmart, Target, and some of the other major chains, they never shut down at all? But there were a lot of the small businesses and all the people that were trying to, the mom and pop businesses and stuff were trying to stay open. They couldn't stay open. They closed them down. And then we remember the summer of love when the businesses were being destroyed once they closed down. I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit of I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I'm thinking sometimes maybe there was some purpose to what was going on. They were just maybe helping out the larger companies. That's my point of view. I wonder how they're going to get by without President Trump. Now, he's come back out in the media right now, and I'm telling you pretty much, I'm pretty sure he's going to be in the media every day they can possibly get him in there because he is a charismatic character and he's going to continue to be in the media. Joe Biden's hiding from the media, and CNN and several other news networks are actually not real happy because he's refusing to come out and have a real press conference with them. Now, I know that the Democrat nightmare is going on right now. And they're using our leadership to destroy, to destroy everything that's good about America. They're now trying to rewrite our bill that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. stood behind, a civil rights bill. He worked so hard to see it come to pass, and it did come to pass, and then progress has been made. Of course, if you look at it from the Democrat perspective, you'll see it by them trying to change it. They want to change the meaning of the civil rights. They want to change the meaning of the Civil Rights Act, which they deem to be racist, along with Dr. Seuss and Mr. Potato Head. Boy, when I heard that, I said, this is really funny. Dr. Seuss and Mr. Potato Head. But from what I heard, Dr. Seuss was one of the most strong proponents of anti-racism, not racism, of unity. And bringing families and people together. He wasn't somebody who was trying to create a racist state. Yet they are now labeling him and what he did racist because he did something about some kind of little yellow creature that had a star on it. One had a star, other one didn't. So they bringing this big thing up and saying that now we got to take that out of schools or whatever because it's showing forth racism. Give me a freaking break. They were not satisfied in destroying the good that President Trump did. They now want to start attacking the remaining good about America. We have had through the 2020 our constitutional rights violated left and right and being used by placing us in a state of fear, using fear tactics, and now they are coming after the remaining rights, trying to change history. We've seen this before too. The very meaning of history is past events. How do you rewrite history? The answer is you don't. You can't rewrite history. You might put it down, but guess what? You can lie. Pretty much that's what you can do. The Democrats do that very well. They're pretty good at that. And you can cover it up. Oh, boy, they're very good at that. Look at the Kennedys over all these years. They're very good at that as well. But to learn from our history and move forward, they're not too good at that. And not to try to erase it like the Democrat Party is trying to do. Well, that's my opening statement. We'll be right back with you here in a moment on the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth.
Welcome to Our Freedom Media Group, where freedom is real. Experience all our platforms for yourself now at www.ourfreedommg.com. Tired of restrictive social media platforms? Join Our Freedom Book. Tired of selective video upload and crowdfunding sites? Join Our Freedom Tube or Our Freedom Funding. With features that include live streaming, video calling and messaging, plus a 24/7 friend finder with map geolocation, American-owned and made in the USA. We're a place where your freedom of speech will be honored. Exercise your right on a secure social media platform without bias, censors, or bans, where your ideas can compete on a level field. If you're looking for a site that doesn't fact-check you and send you to fake jail, a site that cancels cancel culture, then Our Freedom Media Group is the freedom you've been waiting for. Sign up today at ourfreedommg.com, where freedom is real.
Welcome back. You're watching the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. Well, migrant children are in the headlines right now. Migrant children arrived in record numbers, as President Trump predicted, of course, and he slammed Biden at the I can't even say it right, the CPAC, about the fact that Biden was going to have a tsunami at the border with all these people. He just let them walk across and just come in for free. And once again, like the last summer riots, the radical left support Antifa and BLM. The Democrats, they are saying that there's no crisis. No crisis. Let's see, I'm just reading a little article with you. I like to read occasionally. This is on the New York Post, recently, an article they wrote. It says the replacement of former President Donald J. Trump, who maintained a hard line on immigration, with Biden, who has undone some of his predecessor's key border initiatives, has set off a new caravan on the U.S. border, to the U.S. border from Central America, Mexico migrants, including thousands of unescorted children. Why is this even happening? Thousands of unescorted children? They should not be allowed to come across, because that is pretty much saying that us here in Texas, because they're coming over here across our border, we got to take care of them. In his first month, Biden ended construction of Trump's signature U.S.-Mexico border wall and began to end the Remain in Mexico policy, under which about 71,000 Central Americans asylum applicants were awaiting rulings in Mexico. He issued an order affirming 2012's Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals Program, DACA, which gives work permits and protection for from deportation to people brought illegally to U.S. border as minors, and proposed legislation that would create a path to citizenship for the estimated, they keep saying it's estimated 11 million, more than that. Some have said it's up to 25 million. Estimated 11 million illegal immigrants, or up to 22 or 25 million illegal immigrants already here in the nation. While claiming the border was facing a crisis, listen to this, while claiming that the border was not facing being built, but it should be blamed on Donald Trump, I see, because everything's Donald Trump's fault, just like it used to be Bush's fault all the time. Let me explain to you why fixing broken immigration system is hard and why it is going to take time. This is Mayorkas talking. I think it's important to understand what we have inherited, because it defines the situation as it currently stands. Entire systems are not rebuilt in a day or in a few lying. They'll tell you anything that you think you want to hear, and the mainstream media will put it out there. A lot of garbage. What I read to you just did was from the New York Post. and they know that we do have a crisis at the border. Well, Biden is up to his old tricks once again. But we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with you here in a moment on the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert.
Welcome to Our Freedom Media Group, where freedom is real. Experience all our platforms for yourself now at www.ourfreedommg.com. Tired of restrictive social media platforms? Join Our Freedom Book. Tired of selective video upload and crowdfunding sites? Join Our Freedom Tube or Our Freedom Funding. With features that include live streaming, video calling and messaging, plus a 24/7 friend finder with map geolocation, American-owned and made in the USA. We're a place where your freedom of speech will be honored. Exercise your right on a secure social media platform without bias, censors, or bans, where your ideas can compete on a level field. If you're looking for a site that doesn't fact-check you and send you to fake jail, a site that cancels cancel culture, then Our Freedom Media Group is the freedom you've been waiting for. Sign up today at ourfreedommg.com, where freedom is real.
Welcome back. You're watching the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. We do have a crisis at the border, and we're very close to the border here, down here in the Houston area. The border's not too far away, and in San Antonio and different areas west of here, they're even closer. Even Del Rio, we're right on the border there. And El Paso, different areas here in Texas. We're right on the border of Mexico, where illegal immigrants are coming from everywhere. Yet Biden steps up there, and where's Biden at? He's in Delaware. We need to start directing the traffic through the waters and take them up through Delaware. That's what we need to do. Since he loves to just open borders for everybody, we might as well send them up there to Delaware so they can just overflow Delaware. I'm sure they got a lot more room. Delaware is a little town and about to be changed. Of course, maybe it won't be changed because of these new policies, but probably only because President Biden is there. Biden's policies are attacking natural gas production now, a new thing they're coming after, among others, of course. A group of bipartisan lawmakers recently spoke out against Joe Biden's destructive gas production policies, which could cost millions of jobs and billions of dollars in American revenue. Biden is just a slow mouthpiece for the Democrat radicals' destruction of America and its prosperity. They want to destroy its people. And I have another story I'd like to share with you. If we allow the Democrats to get away with the Marxist radical agenda they have, this is what will happen here, what I'm about to share with you right now. It's already leaning that way anyway. When you have people like Nancy Pelosi stand in the House of Representatives, these United States, come in and make racist slurs on dissents of the ruling communist government. While speaking of meeting Monday, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of China asserted that the nation will severely punish crimes undermining state powers. Who can say censorship? Undermining state power, or the federal government here in this country. Who can say censorship? Provoking secession. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? In other words, they want to stop anybody. They would hate Texas because Texas wants to secede from this union. And maybe we will eventually. Because at this particular point, we need to secede for a couple of years until this idiot and the other people get out of office. Anyway, so they are going to severely punish people who are trying to get other areas in China to secede from the Communist Party. The Chief Justice added they are taking these steps to defend the country and its judicial sovereignty. Judicial sovereignty. Listen, people, you got a Supreme Court that's just let our constitutional rights being violated. We're heading in this direction. Somebody better do something. And the National People's Congress, sovereignty. Listen, sovereignty of the judicial sovereignty and the National People's Congress. There ain't no People's Congress. Just like this Congress, you ain't the People's Congress. And they say they meet to appear policies are backed by the Democrat Party. Oh, I'm sorry. Or met by the Communist Party. They say Communist Party in this article, but starting to sound a lot more like America, isn't it? Domestic terrorists. We are domestic terrorists. Quote, he says, this is on the quote, he says, we should severely crack down on infiltration, sabotage, subversion. Listen, these are the things that they're calling free speech here in this country. Subversion. People who are talking about this coronavirus thing, vaccination is not good for you. Stuff like that. Or people saying that there really is no coronavirus. There really was never any pandemic. It was just a setup to try to promote the wickedness that the Democrats want to do in this country. So they say that we should severely crack down on infiltration, sabotage. This is China I'm talking about. Sabotage, subversion, and separatist activities. Separatist activities. Conservative activities. Separatists. You know, in our Bible, the Lord tells us, come out from among them. Separate yourself. Be ye separate. He says in his word. But China's against that, and so is this government. And separatist activities like going to church and serving God. And the hostile forces at home and abroad. This is what they stated. Listen, who can say domestic terrorism? Trump supporters, they need to be deprogrammed. Anybody heard that? This is starting to sound more and more like the CCP. They need to be deprogrammed. You Trump supporters, you need to be deprogrammed. You need to stop being subversives and saying the truth and talking the truth and reporting the truth. We're going to stop you in the media. Look, what I tell you, censorship. You can't say that. You say that, well, what am I saying? I'm just speaking the truth. Well, I'm speaking my view because we are a country of free speech, free press. This thing that you see right here with this domestic terrorism and Trump supporters need to be deprogrammed. This is what we call communism. Deprogramming. But what are you programming people to if you deprogram them? You're programming to be in control. They want control. But I got news for you, Communist Party and the Democrat Party. God is still in control. No matter what you do, I don't care how much you mess crap up, God will straighten it out, and you're going to be straightened out if you happen to leave this earth or he happen to come before all this stuff is over with. Anyway, let's take a short break. We'll be right back with you here in a moment on the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert.
Welcome to Our Freedom Media Group, where freedom is real. Experience all our platforms for yourself now at www.ourfreedommg.com. Tired of restrictive social media platforms? Join Our Freedom Book. Tired of selective video upload and crowdfunding sites? Join Our Freedom Tube or Our Freedom Funding. With features that include live streaming, video calling and messaging, plus a 24/7 friend finder with map geolocation, American-owned and made in the USA. We're a place where your freedom of speech will be honored. Exercise your right on a secure social media platform without bias, censors, or bans, where your ideas can compete on a level field. If you're looking for a site that doesn't fact-check you and send you to fake jail, a site that cancels cancel culture, then Our Freedom Media Group is the freedom you've been waiting for. Sign up today at ourfreedommg.com, where freedom is real.
Welcome back. You're watching the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. In an interview on I think it was Sunday, Senator Lindsey Graham said he wants to harness the magic of President Trump. America's first movement, he stressed that it would be the best way forward for the Republican Party, having been influenced greatly by the 45th president of these United States of America, Donald J. Trump. President Trump's electoral success was above any other with support of the American voters. He had more votes, and everybody wants to see this. He had more votes than President Obama in the second one. He had more votes than he even beat himself out in the amount of votes that he had in the second election. Of course, I believe it was a lot more than that. I believe it was more like 100 million votes. But the thing is we'll never know that because a lot of the information and documents have been destroyed. Some things are being investigated now, but we'll see what happens. Graham goes on to say that the Republican Party will keep backing and implementing policies that will make America strong. That is what we need to do. We have to stand by the policies that are going to make America strong, not weaker. This garbage they got going right now, the Democrats are still trying to destroy the filibuster. They're going after all this stuff, people. The good thing about it is a lot of the Democrats, like Senator Manchin and them, they don't want this garbage either. Because all it needs are a few votes to turn it down anyway. They don't want to be blocked from the filibuster. What's going to happen when the Republicans take over the House and take over the Senate? They won't be able to filibuster. If they demolish the law, the Republicans will say, well, this is great. We take it over now, so you don't get to say nothing. We make the laws, we make the rules, that's it. This is what the Democrats are doing anyway. He said Trump is a sort of cross between Jesse Helms, Ronald Reagan, and P.T. Barnum. I mean, it's just a bigger than life deal. It's a bigger than life deal. I agree with him. He should make the Republican Party something that nobody else I know could make it. This is what he said. He can make what nobody else he knows can make it. He can make it bigger, he can make it stronger, and he can make it more diverse. And that's what he diversity. Now, I'm hoping maybe I might end up as one of those things too. And he went on to say that President Donald Trump will be supported by him if he reruns in 2024 because he is saying that he will be the most electable Republican candidate. And it's the truth. I mean, he's already done so much good for this country. All we can do is hope and pray that he gets back in or somebody else gets back in who could change all this garbage that's going on right now before this nation is turned into the CCP. Because the CCP wants that. The Chinese Communist Party wants us to be changed into the Chinese Communist Party. Because then they will have the rule over our country as well. Joe Biden just sat there and let them do it. Biden and the OMB considers downgrading multiple cities from metro areas to micropolitan areas. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with you here in a moment on the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert.
Welcome to Our Freedom Media Group, where freedom is real. Experience all our platforms for yourself now at www.ourfreedommg.com. Tired of restrictive social media platforms? Join Our Freedom Book. Tired of selective video upload and crowdfunding sites? Join Our Freedom Tube or Our Freedom Funding. With features that include live streaming, video calling and messaging, plus a 24/7 friend finder with map geolocation, American-owned and made in the USA. We're a place where your freedom of speech will be honored. Exercise your right on a secure social media platform without bias, censors, or bans, where your ideas can compete on a level field. If you're looking for a site that doesn't fact-check you and send you to fake jail, a site that cancels cancel culture, then Our Freedom Media Group is the freedom you've been waiting for. Sign up today at ourfreedommg.com, where freedom is real.
Welcome back. You're watching the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. Now, they're not satisfied with attacking people's jobs, attacking their incomes, attacking all this stuff. Now they're going after the cities. Let me tell you something about this. And I was watching this. This will be mentioned later on in what I'm saying, but I want to point it out right up front. This is something about their Green New Deal, all this other garbage they want to push through. Because if they could change the status of these cities and change them where they're not metro areas to their micro areas, what they're calling it, metropolitan to micropolitan, which means less than 100,000 or more, they will stop funding. They'll cut funding. I'll say, well, this place ain't big enough to give funding, thereby pulling money into the crazy crap that they want to accomplish in these few years that they have over in the leadership of this country. They're attacking everything that can destroy our cities and hurting the American people. It's a sad situation we're in, people. I hate it. I come here every day and I report this, but it's so sad to see this. But there is some good going on because Donald Trump is still out there. He's standing by the Republican Party. We still are in control in the majority of legislatures in this country. They won't tell you that. They stand up there, reel a little thing in the House or whatever. But we got the cities, we got the states, a lot of the states mainly, we got control of them. So they can do whatever they want. Our governors and all our leaders, we can come at them too. We'll file lawsuits with them, hold their butts up until they get out of office. Dozens of cities could lose their metropolitan status amid this new requirement by the Biden administration. According to reports Saturday, 144 municipalities were recommended to be downgraded by the Office of Management and Budget. Some of the cities, listen to this, people, I couldn't believe I heard this. Some of the cities like Charlotte, North Carolina, Bismarck, North Dakota, could be among the downgraded to micropolitan areas, which would take away some of your funding and things like that, people. It's ugly. Get the people, shipping people to get votes, allowing this. Let's talk about this real quick here before I move on in the same vein. During the election last year, they had people voting from out of state who no longer lived in the state. They had people that were voting that were dead. All kinds of stuff going on that they refused to admit to it. They refused to say it. They said it pretty much as they always do. If it comes down, it's like to Nancy Pelosi, it all becomes a summer of love. Whenever something they don't want to hear, it's all good. That's garbage. Just like this immigration. There's no immigration crisis. Ask them. Ask the Democrat legislature, ask the Democrat people, is there a border crisis? Oh, no, there's no border crisis. They said there's no border crisis because there's no border crisis in their state. We need to start shipping them to their states since they feel there's no border crisis. You know, that's not a bad idea. Maybe us in here in Texas, we should start renting some buses and say, okay, we're going to put you in the country. We're going to ship a lot of you to Delaware, ship some of you to New York and other cities around the country. We can do it. Hey, they're here. When they're waiting for asylum, let's ship them over to California, ship them to somewhere else in the nation where the Democrats are in control. Let them do something with that. As I said, they went on. They were doing all kinds of crazy stuff. They refused to remove people from the registrar in California. They still have over 400,000 dead people registered to vote in California, and they're sending out ballots to them, people. This is pure craziness. Under the new proposal of this micro, it would be required to have a permanent population. What did I tell you about these shifting around? Well, if they do this, they're going to hurt their own self too. A permanent population of 100,000 people or more. Permanent. They're saying you can be going or whatever. It's got to be a permanent population. The change would not only be symbolic, but the city officials worry that more lesson or more funding could be lessened from the federal government. Money that they get for different programs in their smaller areas will be limited under this new plan, which the budget committee or whatever the heck you want to call them set up to change the status of these cities. Well, people, here we are once again. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with you in a moment to close.
Welcome to Our Freedom Media Group, where freedom is real. Experience all our platforms for yourself now at www.ourfreedommg.com. Tired of restrictive social media platforms? Join Our Freedom Book. Tired of selective video upload and crowdfunding sites? Join our Freedom Tube or our Freedom Funding. With features that include live streaming, video calling and messaging, plus a 24/7 friend finder with map geolocation, American-owned and made in the USA. We're a place where your freedom of speech will be honored. Exercise your right on a secure social media platform without bias, censors, or bans, where your ideas can compete on a level field. If you're looking for a site that doesn't fact-check you and send you to fake jail, a site that cancels cancel culture, then our Freedom Media Group is the freedom you've been waiting for. Sign up today at ourfreedommg.com, where freedom is real.
Welcome back. You're watching the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. Well, we got quite a challenge ahead of us, but I believe that we're up for the challenge. I'm very encouraged by people like Kevin McCarthy and several other people that are coming out and speaking out on the different issues that are going in this country. It shows me that they are thinking, at least thinking about the American people and are thinking about the America First plan. And I pray that they will allow President Donald J. Trump, or former President Trump, to kind of direct them in the way they need to go so that they could get things going back in the right direction. Not to say we're going to be able to overcome everything, but maybe we'll be able to fight and hold up some of this garbage until we get the Congress and the Senate changed in 2022. Well, that's really what we're focusing on right now. If we could get that accomplished, that would be great. But it's just a sad situation. We're trying to deal with these things that are going on right now. It appears that our government is going berserk with hurting the American people and our economy. 20 million doses of vaccine, which I'm not into it no way, but 20 million doses of the coronavirus vaccine just disappeared. Nobody seems to know where it went. We have a government that came in through this pandemic. Now, President Trump was out, but hey, President Trump could control everything because other people were doing other things too. And he had to kind of follow and see what was going on, try to work with everybody else. But the fact of the matter is our cities and our states were hurt extremely bad during this pandemic last year. They had a thing of fear, had everybody scared. Still people scared to death. I'm not scared. Something's going to kill you people. May not be the coronavirus. Could be a car accident. Could be some other health condition or whatever. But we're not built to live forever in this realm anyway. We need to focus on that and start focusing on God and serving our Lord and Savior. So once again, I want to thank you for joining us here on the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert. And I'm not going to take you any longer, but I like to thank each and every one. I'd like to thank the CEO and president, Neil Anwar, of this station as well, for allowing me this opportunity to come and share with you Monday through Friday here on the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert. Once again, I want to say what I always love to say to you. God bless you, God bless America, and God bless the world. Until next time, this is David Colbert here on the CTM News Network saying good night and God bless.